Hello, let's take a brief tour of the NetApp Astra user interface. The dashboard is a great place to start. The overall status of our managed applications and clusters is summarized with details available on individual tabs for applications and clusters. A second set of tabs provide account management functionality, including managing users, an activity log, and how to access documentation and get support. I've already registered a Kubernetes cluster in the Australia Southeast 1 region of Google Cloud. Let's register a second cluster together. We'll reuse the existing service account credentials. Astra will retrieve a list of GKE clusters that are provisioned under our Google project. I'll select an eligible cluster in the US West region and move on to configure storage. We set a default storage class and move on to a summary screen. When we continue, Trident will be installed and configured as a CSI provider inside our cluster. An object storage bucket will be created to store backup data. Behind the scenes, I've used Helm to install WordPress into a namespace in the Northern Hemisphere cluster. Astra has detected our new application and is discovering the resources associated with it. We'll take a quick look at the default WordPress page to verify the application is up and running. Now that the application discovery is finished, we choose to manage it. Once managed, we can access details by clicking on the application name. In the highlighted area, you'll see our application is not protected yet. We can remedy this condition by creating a data protection policy. This allows us to specify a schedule for taking snapshots and backups and a retention policy for them. Snapshots are stored by NetApp Cloud Volumes Service. Backups go one step further and export the data from the snapshots to an object storage bucket. Notice that the status is updated to partially protected. We have a policy, but we haven't made a backup yet. So let's create an on-demand backup. Once we confirm, Astra will collect information about all the resources needed for this application to run, including persistent volume claims. It looks like our web developers have updated WordPress, but it looks a little 2020. How about we clone our application from the backup we made earlier and give our team in Australia the opportunity to work on it instead. The tabs under our managed application show details about the resources associated with the WordPress installation. In order to clone it, we'll locate our backup, go to the Actions drop-down menu, and choose Clone. Since we are going to a different cluster, we'll select it from the list, and we can change the suggested random name and target namespace. Since we don't want to clone the current state of the application, we'll choose to use an existing backup and select it from the list. We'll get a summary screen to review and then select Clone App. Our clone starts provisioning and shows up as a new managed application. It does not inherit the data protection policy or any existing snapshots or backups. Let's take a snapshot of our new cloned application right away before we turn the web developers loose on it. The process is very simple. We choose Create Snapshot, accept the suggested snapshot name, review the summary screen, and click Snapshot App. The snapshot request processes fairly quickly. Let's switch over to our application running in the Northern Hemisphere cluster. We can see that our data protection policy is working. A scheduled snapshot has been taken, and also a scheduled backup. Going back to the dashboard, we can see the overall status: 2 clusters, 2 managed applications, one of which is not fully protected. How is the cloned WordPress site coming along? Looks like they stuck with the 2021 theme this time. Very nice. NetApp Astra provides rich data management features so you can relax, knowing that your containerized workloads running on Kubernetes are protected.